Hello there, and welcome to the very first video for the Advanced Compositing in Nuke course. I'm your instructor, Nick Chamberlain, and I'm so excited to have you with us here. I think this is going to be a really fun class, and I'm so excited to get started with all of you. So this very first video, we're just going to kind of talk about everything we can expect to learn in this course, just give you a quick overview. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So this first week is going to be kind of our foundational compositing concepts. We're going to do a more straightforward shot this week. We're going to install the Rebel Way Gizmo Pack. We're just going to make sure that we're all kind of up to speed on our foundational principles before we start building on top of those. And then we're going to move on to week 2, where we're going to do this walking up shot. And it's going to be much trickier than the first week. There's going to be a lot more that we have to kind of consider in it. We're going to learn about various keying techniques and mixing in roto with our keyers and kind of blending between those in a natural way. We're going to learn how to lay scenes out in 3D space accurately, and we're going to do some optically correct kind of Z-depth defocus. And so that's going to be really fun. And then once we hit week 3 and 4, we're actually going to have 2 weeks dedicated to just one shot, because this one is very complex. There's a lot going on in there. The first week is going to be largely kind of working with 3D tracking a scene, making a good layout with it. We're going to learn how to do some faster rotoscoping with 3D stabilization. We're going to learn how to do a pretty complicated paint out, and we're actually going to use LiDAR to do that. We'll do some sky replacements. And then in week 4, it will be the second half of that shot where we integrate the CG into our newly cleaned plate. We're going to use some AOVs. We're going to do some matte painting. We're going to layer in some smoke and atmosphere in 3D space to make it all feel really, really nice. And so that shot's going to be really fun. And then week 5 and 6, we're going to work on this very complicated set extension here. And again, there's a lot going on, so it's going to take 2 weeks to do. We're going to kind of talk about the process I went through when I was first working on the shot, because it did take quite a while for me to make. We're going to go over it in 6 hours-ish, but it actually took me 80 hours to do from start to finish. So we're going to talk about that process. We're going to go ahead and do more keying, some foreground CG integration, ground blending. We're going to talk a bit about deep compositing. And then in week 6, we're going to go ahead and make a 3D projected matte painting based on like 10 to 15 different images. We're going to then blend different smoke, waterfall, fog elements. We're going to blend in our CG background, and we're going to tie it all together to make our character in an entirely different place and make it look really, really cool. So let's go ahead and stop talking about what we're going to be doing and kind of move on to talking about this week specifically. So thanks again for joining. I'm so excited you're here, and I'll catch you in the next one.